So the next step is we need to do market research and understand what is going to set our product aside from all of the other competitors. I think even the Oodie that does over $100 million a year struggles with this sometimes with our new product launches. This is what separates really, really good business owners to really, really bad business owners, is really understanding how to position your product. Remember, we might be selling the exact same product as other people, but through our marketing channel or through how we're marketing, like the benefits of the product is maybe differentiated in itself. Now, one of the main things that I see people do wrong here is that they just download all of the AliExpress images. They steal competitors' videos, which is just blatantly illegal. Trust me, you're going to get caught. Eventually, all of your ad accounts will get banned. It won't be worth it long term. Because your ad accounts are banned, you're going to be buying something called agency accounts for the rest of your life, and it's just stupid. And it doesn't even perform that well. Like, we can easily create these creatives using free software and just spending a bit of time and infinitely become better. So don't listen to anyone that just tells you to outright steal creatives. It's just stupid. The thing that we're going to do now is we're going to do both market research, and we're also going to kind of build out the initial strategies for our content flywheel and our branding. So I've created this file for everybody. It's pretty simple. Now you might see at the bottom here, I've got something called the sauna shirt. Now this happened through, I was just scrolling TikTok the other day and I came across this one product, and it kind of fits into the brand that we're launching, functional fitness wear. It's probably way less commoditized than the compression shirt, but at the same time, I think that, I've got the model coming so that we can just basically put that on him and we can have a couple of extra shots there and hedge our bets there. I've also been looking at a couple of other products, which I'll fill in through there, but realistically, I've just added the sauna shirt and I've ordered one from Zendrop. So today we're going to do the market research process for both of them, just so you can kind of see what's going on. I think that TikTok is the best place to start with this. And what we're going to do is we're going to build what's called a swipe file, where I am going to go through and you can create a brand new TikTok and search something like a sauna shirt or a compression shirt so that TikTok tailors their feed towards you, which I think we've talked about already. But alternatively, you can just go in and you can search in something like compression shirt. So I'm going to just do exactly that. I'm going to go onto my TikTok and I'm going to write in compression shirt. And there's a fair bit, you can see when they're posted. So 2022 is interesting, but at the same time, it's it's a lifetime ago when it comes to TikTok. You can see this one's this year. And we can just go into this.
I can't believe I'm making this video. What you have to understand about the Young LA compressions is there's two different types of fabric. Type number one is this thin fabric. You're going to find it on the Stealth compression.
So let's just break down this creative just because we're here to learn about marketing. The first thing he did was talk about gyno. So he instantly called out a certain avatar that he is positioned towards, avatar being a customer base. And then he went into, what else did he say? Something about LA.
I believe I'm making this video. What you have to understand about the Young LA compressions is there's two different types.
Cool. So Young LA Impressions, which is basically the brand. So he said the brand pretty early there, which sometimes can work, sometimes can't. But look, this has got so many views. It could be boosted, I'm not sure. But at the same time, I think that he's done a really good job of calling out the avatar. And then he goes into...
And the speed compression tees. Type number two is a much thicker fabric.
So then he goes into the features and benefits of the product and actually starts selling you on what they are. Now, look, that's a very different product to what we've got. We've kind of got this undergarment that is going to... can be used for people wearing suits. Probably doesn't look that appropriate for the gym. You'd look a bit like a loser, but that's okay. I think that, so is this an interesting creative? 100%. It looks like it's doing really well. So I want to come to my Notion board. Now I'm using Notion, guys, here, if you haven't seen it before, because the reason why, you can use Google Docs, but I actually like to use this embed feature. And now Notion should be free. I'm pretty sure it's free, but you can just write in embed and you can pull it in there. Now you can see that when I fully document this file, I can basically see it's very annoying when you have a swipe file and you need to click into it and then click into each one. You kind of just want to be able to see them all running. So I've got that there. We can shorten it a little bit, but I'm just going to kind of put this all together. Now, one thing I can do, if I find a competitor that is very, very similar to this, to the point where it's like they're selling my product, I can put their URL here. Young LA. So we can come into here and we can actually grab their URL and chuck it here, because that's going to allow me to kind of go back to it later on and fill out a lot of these other things. Now, I'm just going to keep continuing with this swipe file. Let's look at one that's a little bit more like ours. See, they seem to go pretty viral, which, you know, a long time ago. The main thing that I'm seeing is like a lot of these people are just extremely jacked. And this is obviously the main target avatar for the compression shirts, not the ones that, you know, we're referring to that make you kind of look fitter, like almost the shapewear. Now, one thing that you can notice about all of these compression wear is I'm kind of searching for the wrong product. It's the wrong solution. A lot of these people are just jacked, going to the gym. They're using it as, you know, to one, make them look good, but also stay fit, stay warmed up and whatnot. When we come and we look at our product, we can see that like it's a little bit different. Like you can see that it's kind of trying to make your abs look a little bit better. It's more of an undergarment for everyday people, I would say. So that's probably more what I would define as shapewear. So instead we can come in here and go men's shapewear. And this looks like it's more like aligned with us.
With the recent weight gain, my self-confidence has really taken a hit. This tank top changed.
Now you'll see the natural posture. That was actually, if I remember correct, yeah, that one was on Trend Rocket as well. So we've already kind of got a lot of data on that. These guys are doing creative really well. They're able to get viral TikToks and they're running a bunch of Facebook ads.
Everything. With the ultra slimming body shaper undershirt from the Natural Posture, it...
Cool. So great. Let's go. Great hook there.
With the recent weight gain, talks about a feeling confidence. Instantly, you can imagine the customer base talking about that. What else have we got? This tank top, they really haven't kind of exposed what the product is yet. Then they expose what it is, and then talks about how it works. Then they have a call to action. That's pretty basic stuff, to be honest, but it's basic because it literally works. It's what most ads are. So I'm just going to grab that as well. I'm also going to grab the Natural Posture brand as well. I can actually just grab this URL. Cool. Sweet. I don't know what revenue these guys were doing. Be interested to check. Sweet. So their posture is doing about, I don't know, $25,000, $50,000 a month. Not too bad. Doing decent revenue kind of in December. Maybe it's a gifting product, maybe not, but realistically they are doing a little bit of volume. When I come to their site, you know, they're doing a good job, especially in the creatives, as I talked about, like all of this positioning, all of these creatives. This is the more important stuff than a pretty website. But obviously we can, you know, elevate it a lot. They're kind of got a, you know, pretty generalized fitness dropshipping store, just all around posture, which I don't mind. But anyway, their creative's decent. So we'll just keep going through this and it will just keep breaking down what I'm looking for. This stage can actually be done before you order your first sample and you kind of commit to the product, because you honestly might find these crazy products that you're like, oh no, I want to do this one. But when we're searching these categories as well, one thing to note is that these, you know, these had 36,000 views. That's like
not a lot, by the way. Like, we're really looking for recent videos that have gone over at least 200,000 views to kind of show you how it's working. This looks like our exact product. You can see that they're talking about the postural angle there. I think it's interesting that you kind of got that first hook at the male with his shirt off. Now we've got this second one. Again, these, like, the bar is really, really low because a lot of people are just playing the dropshipping game that I talked about before. But if we want to create something that really hits, you know, $1 million, $2 million a year, that we need to kind of elevate this and be well thought out about it. Because if we're better than everybody, we're just going to take this entire market. So the next thing we can do is we can just go to Google. Cookware men's. And we can see a couple of other brands here. Now, this is really important because this Google step is a very natural progression of how consumers will shop. So they'll see your Facebook ad or they'll see your TikTok creative, and then they actually will go to Google. So if there's a brand like this, ShapeMate, like, my bet is on these guys not understanding Facebook creatives or anything like that, but being good at Google. And it's probably a similar business to the Natural Posture Co., but they're just focusing on Google. So it's important for you to check out both brands because this pricing here, let's say we're going to sell this exact same product and we do our own photography, which kind of looks like they've done. Some of these other people probably haven't, Timo and whatnot. I think that, one, we want our photography to be more elevated than theirs, and two, we need to be in a similar price point if we deem that being fit. Like, we can go ultra premium or something like that, but it is going to be really hard with this kind of commoditized product. But what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to add this person here and paste as mention. Why does that look terrible? There we go. The interesting thing about going through all of these competitors is just like how low the bar actually is. And that brings me to two conclusions. One of a couple. One, maybe nobody wants the product and there's not enough money to invest in the product development and improve the branding and imagery. Or two, it's a very fragmented market and it's up for taking. So one of those things is probably true, and that's kind of what we need to find out. So I'm not getting a huge amount of insights from these guys when I go through them. Let me just pull up the three brands and let's be structured about how I approach this. What we're kind of looking for is we're breaking down a few things. So we've kind of got the price here, just $37. We can come in here and we can do $37. And then we've got the positioning / offer, which is largely based on that creative that we had before, which needs to be replayed. Positioning / offer is for men who are insecure. And then we've also got the offer, which truthfully, I didn't really see an offer on the website. The offer will sometimes for specialized stores, like if we come to this one, we've got free shipping for US orders over $75. It's a okay offer. You might have $50 off. The thing that you might also have is like this product plus a free shorts version or something like that. Like, that's a pretty strong offer as well. Or they might even have a buy one, get one free. And that's really what I like to take note of. Maybe they're selling a set, because sometimes people that are able to create the better offer within these products will do really well. Like, another offer might be for, let's say you're selling a weight loss shake. It's like, if you don't lose weight in 30 days, you get your money back. So I'm going to stick with this one, this product. I think that that's really interesting. The 3D design, I actually quite like it. What are they doing well? They're doing organic social well. They're doing Facebook ads well, and good product page, or better product page than most. 3D render. Then we've also got what could they be doing better, which I'm just going to leave at the moment. We've got, again, just men aged 30 to maybe 50 is their target avatar. Content strategy and hooks, kind of talked about that one previously. So let's come back to these guys' ads and just break some stuff down. Let's break down the offers, these kind of things. So instant slimming, it's a really nice word. Same avatar. It's definitely the most obvious avatar. This one's interesting. They are targeting women there, but this is just not with our product. I bet you it's a different product. Yeah, it's a different product. Just trying to find anything out of the ordinary. Cool. Just watch this one as well.
Here, what I want. Flattens my stomach, firms my chest. Best thing is, nobody knows I'm wearing it. Check them out.
Cool. Look, I think this is pretty self-explanatory. There's nothing groundbreaking there. This is interesting positioning. So let's fill out the Young LA one now and work through it. So what are they doing well? It looked like they were doing TikToks really well. So absolutely crushing it here. I would spend a fair bit of research. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because you guys are probably getting a little bit bored and you're kind of starting to understand what I'm looking for. But you can see the different positioning for this type of product. Maybe there's an ability for us to look at our product as a solution to similar things to this audiences and make it cool by using really fit models. That's just something that you can kind of start thinking about. Why is one product being targeted to one audience? Can the other one be applicable to the other audience? And that's all through kind of this market research process. So I'm going to go and fill out the rest of this sheet. And once it's fully populated, we're going to have really some great creatives that we can go and reproduce in a different way. We're going to have some great hooks. We're going to have the structure for our website to start doing our copy. And aside from that, the next thing that we need to do that's relatively urgent for me is we need to plan this photo shoot. We need to understand how we can elevate this product imagery because that's the only way that I'm going to be able to get this competitive product to work.